Guess what? All that education and training that I have gained in order to be a physician, a pediatrician, and someone taking care of the health of many people, none of that has prepared me to be a homeschooling mother specifically, but it has added to my journey in general as a person, as a human being. It has added value. It has added different perspectives that I can then give to my children, but it does not directly move or fuel my abilities to teach them. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. This is Sustainable Living for the Family, Health, and Home, and I'm Dr. Monique Adu, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Here, I just love sharing information that has been helpful to me regarding homeschooling, gardening, health, nutrition, and just so much more. In today's video, we are going to be going deep into my homeschooling series, but now for mothering, so that we can just feel equipped, strengthened, and ready for our homeschool year and even beyond. Today, we are talking about how we can feel empowered whenever we have the feeling that we are not able or that we are not enough to teach our children ourselves. When those feelings of doubt come creeping in and you just feel that you are not equipped and that you could never teach your children even from infancy all the way up through high school, what can you do, or what information can I give you today to really hopefully help to strengthen your mind and to really turn around your thinking about the ability to homeschool your children? And for those that are already in the arena of homeschooling your children, I hope this will be a blessing to you, and still even more so a strengthening for you as well to keep on fighting that good fight as a mother seeking to provide the best value that she can to her home and through homeschooling her children. Join me today. Now, I wanted to go ahead and give my perspective as a pediatrician, just coming from a background of going through different levels of higher education and maybe even a little more than the average, just to let you understand that guess what? All that education and training that I have gained in order to be a physician, a pediatrician, and someone taking care of the health of many people, none of that has prepared me to be a homeschooling mother specifically, but it has added to my journey in general as a person, as a human being. It has added value. It has added different perspectives that I can then give to my children, but it does not directly move or fuel my abilities to teach them. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know you don't have to have any specific higher level education in order to give your children a rich foundation and really strong education that will help them to grow and be productive people, leaders, and just a fulfilling of their mission in their own individual lives. As a homeschooling teacher, having a variety of age ranges and teaching my little ones from all the way from preschool and then continuing onward into elementary, middle school, and into junior high now, I can tell you that the skills that are learned in higher education, and even from just listening to the perspectives of even teachers that have had training it does not really prepare you for being able to teach your own children, because your teaching of your children is so individualized. And honestly, you are your students' teacher and you are a student of your student. So you are not going to have any previous preparation that's going to specifically give you the answers that you need in order to teach them well, or in order to know exactly what kind of mode of teaching works best for them. That comes with jumping in at this time, at the moment when they are here with you, and learning of them, learning how they learn, figuring out what works best for you all in teaching the variety of subjects that you would like to cover or that your state may even require. These things come with jumping right in and honestly learning on the job. Your job is a teacher, a homemaker, a keeper of your home, and yes, you may have some background knowledge, background information, but the learning comes from the hands-on skills and time that you take while you're in the job. I can say this also even for my medical training. Yes, I have had upwards from 10 to 12 years of training, if you're wanting to specifically calculate everything, not including high school and so forth. 10 to 12 years of training in the higher level so that I could be qualified to take care of a human life. But the real understanding did not come from the medical books or from medical school or from residency training. It came from being with the patient one-on-one with them right there, seeing what their issues are, trying to discover what their illness is, learning from their history, gaining information through their physical exam. This is how I was able to give the best of my abilities and treat each patient. So you have a little skill set that you learn from life, but the real understanding and the real ability to do what you must is from being within the situation, being within that moment, and honestly just learning from the ground up. I hope that this is encouraging you so that you know, if you hear somebody saying, well, how could you ever homeschool your children? What about high school? These subjects are difficult. How are you going to manage that? I hope that this video will pop into your mind. You will remember what I'm telling you. You can do it. You don't have to have any special degree. And you know what? Even myself, I have a biology degree in addition to my medical degree, and of course my doctorate degree in pediatrics. I still need to go to the textbooks so that I can teach my children complex algebra, information about linear equations, geometry, grammar rules, spelling challenges. I still need to consult even though I have a high degree of education. Learning never ceases. It should never cease. We are always in the ability, if we are able to learn more, gain more, no matter what level of education you have. And if someone ever feels like they have learned all they can, they finish school, and that's all for them, that's going to be a life of stagnancy. That's not a life of growth and really a fruitful life, because you have stopped your ability to open yourself up to learning and just experiencing all the beauty and wonder that there is, that we only skim the surface of. Even just going through some of my Bible readings. We were going through our readings on our Sabbath on last Saturday, and my husband was just saying, wow, we have read this chapter over and over again in the past. We were reading about King Hezekiah and how he had sought the Father to heal him and to prolong his life. We hadn't even noticed that it spoke about placing a fig salve on his wound. I'm also studying about healing herbs, foods, and medicines from the Bible, and that was just fitting for all of what I'm studying currently. And I say this to remind us that even when we have learned something and we have looked at it maybe over and over again, we can still learn something from it. And that is even all the more the case when it comes to reading our Bible. There's just information that just pops out sometimes to you that you hadn't even realized. So I was able to gain that gem of understanding about the nutritional and medicinal value of even the simple fruit fig. So let's get into some of the practicalities though, because some may ask, well, what about state laws? What kind of things may be required? I'm going to go ahead and give you a little screenshot of the HSLDA website where it goes through all the states of the United States and the requirements for a teacher. Most of it, as you will see, require very little of the teacher in terms of educational requirement, at minimum a high school degree for some states. As you can see here, we are on the HSLDA website, and you can quickly look at any of the states here of the United States and see state by state what the requirements are so that you get an overall view. It ranges from high regulation, moderate, low, and no notice at all. So there's quite a range of requirements per state. And I'm just bringing you through specifically focusing in on what certain states are requiring for the teacher so that you have an idea of what you really need to be teaching your children based on state. So here are just a few examples. If you look through here, you'll see yearly or annual requirements and different options based on the state. Maine here is one of the more stringent of the states. Talks about the different subjects that are required to be taught, whether you're doing it in private school or you're just focusing in with the studies in the home. And if you look here, teacher qualifications, it's saying you do need some for option 2. Now we're looking at Pennsylvania. Teacher qualifications, no, except for option 1. Homeschooling under the homeschool statute. And let's see here. It says ensure you have the required qualifications, high school diploma or equivalent. No high education needed, no college degree. And if you look here for Missouri, teacher qualifications, no, nothing required there. Iowa, teacher qualifications, no, nothing there. Kansas, teacher qualifications, no. Utah, teacher qualifications, no. So please do feel encouraged that you don't have to have a high degree at all to be teaching your children. And even no degree for some. There's not a specific requirement for the teacher. So just understand that honestly, you are already your child's best teacher. You are teaching them every day. You have even taught them their language. They speak to you. How did you do that? You work with them day by day. They listen to you. They watched you. You are their example. And when it comes to higher level things such as your high school subjects and so forth, you can do it. You can be a learner alongside your students. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't have a high school student yet, but I'm already looking through the books in terms of math and the sciences and so forth. And I'm going to learn it so that I can be a help and resource for them. There are also ways to outsource learning too, if ever you do feel like you do need that little extra help. And that's something that you can walk across. You can cross that bridge when it comes, but still prepare yourself. Try and learn as you can. Get some books from the library. You don't have to buy anything in particular, but you can start looking at algebra. You can start looking at geometry, calculus, if even you want to go that high of a level with your student in preparation for college. You can go through the grammatical rules that are there and just honestly keeping yourself well read. Reading is going to open your mind and really make you a wonderful teacher that your children feel joy coming to because you have something to provide for them. You have another nugget of information to provide for them. And it's just so much fun. I love learning. If you can keep yourself in a good book, something that challenges you, it's wholesome, it grows your mind and your spirit. Of course, include your Bible because that is the primary source of knowledge, the primary source of wisdom. If you can do this, keeping yourself well read, you are going to be one of the best teachers that your children can ever have. Far, far surpassing any school system and any teacher that honestly has their hands full with a class of 25 to 30 or more students. So keep this in mind. If ever you feel like you're not able to teach your students, you can do it. Take it from me. Understand you don't need to have a high level of education to do what is best for your students. Let me know what you are doing in order to prepare to teach your students. What are some things also that you have found to be so informative and just interesting to learn about as you homeschool? If you found this video to be of value, please do like and subscribe. Please do share it with others so that they may feel encouraged. And until next time, do all you can to be more and more sustainable and be blessed. I'll see you next time.